cream!
Can we discuss ice cream vans for a moment? Because I have nothing else to talk about. So let's talk about ice cream vans. They are a very strange British institution. So the ice cream van comes around and you go up to it and you buy your ice cream. Very simple. The trouble is, at least the two places I've ever lived, it's always been at the least convenient times possible. So either, where I am now, and very similar where I lived where my parents live, the ice cream van either comes at 12 o'clock on the dot or 4 o'clock on the dot. Now, the issue there is that 12 o'clock is lunchtime, and I wouldn't mind so much if it was like 1 o'clock or something, because then you've had a chance to have your lunch. But 12 o'clock, well, you got to have it before. You can't get an ice cream and then not have it, because where's it going to go? The argument can be made that you could buy a packet ice cream and just have that and stick it in the freezer, but if you want an ice cream cone, then you're kind of scuppered. And the 4 o'clock business is kind of similar, because then you're going to have your tea, and you might lose your appetite if you eat an ice cream at 4 o'clock. So it doesn't seem terribly convenient to me. The other interesting thing about ice cream, well, the thing about the times is that there's only so much one can do about the times. They've got a wide radius to cover, and so somebody's got to get a crappy time for their ice cream. But anyway, the other interesting thing about them is the fact that traditionally, ice cream vans have always got the crappiest possible illustrations on them of popular cartoon characters. Now, I always assumed that these were always hand done per ice cream van, and that they were just slapped on there clearly by an amateur artist. But I can't remember where I was. I think it must have been when we were in Whitby a few weeks ago. I saw an ice cream van, and I swear it had the exact same illustration on it, the same graphics of a badly painted bunch of Looney Tunes characters, I think. Possibly Disney characters, possibly, in fact likely, a mix of the two. And it was identical to an ice cream van I've seen around here. So either that ice cream van's got a massive catchment area, or it's actually all a lie, and there's some company out there producing the crappiest possible cartoon character prints. For some reason, I don't understand why they wouldn't illustrate it with something a bit more pleasing. I only assume it's to make it look amateurish and homely and family run and small businessy. Maybe that's my only thought. Third thing, ice cream van music. Invariably very, very loud, chimey, slightly creepy variation of a traditional folk tune usually. Or sometimes ragtime. The one that used to come around when I lived at my parents' when I was younger, that played The Entertainer. And I've heard the one that used to come by my grandparents, that one played Teddy Bear's Picnic. It seems that the most common one nowadays is a rendition of the... It's an Elvis song. I'm trying to remember what it's called. It's Now or Never. I don't think that's the title of the song, but it goes, it's now or never, blah, 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 blah. Except it's also the same tune as that one Cornetto advert from like the early 2000s. And it barely sounds like it. It took me ages and some explanation to realise that that's what it was supposed to be. And yet, all ice cream bands seem to have that these days. At least all the ones I've heard. Yeah, I think I've heard one play The Entertainer recently. And that's the only one in many, many years that I've heard play a different song. So I don't know what that's about. I don't know why everybody's got this Cornetto song now. It's very strange, and I kind of wish there was some more variety. I do wonder if the ice cream van drivers must get fed up of the song after a while, because it's not like they ever change the song once they've got it. It seems to be embedded in the van. It seems to be part of it from there on out. There is some licensing thing about ice cream van music, so I don't know if it's a bit more complicated than just getting another box and just sticking that in, or whether it's a cost thing, because I know that they're very expensive for some reason. Anyway, last point on ice cream vans is that most of the ones I've seen seem to be stationary these days. You only see a handful that actually drive around, but maybe that's just because I'm not very observant. Anyway, that's the ice cream van chat. Hope you've enjoyed that. Yeah, that's about it really. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you all tomorrow.